Well, first of all, have you ever had your child ask you a question and you didn't know whether to slap them or hug them? You're like, do I want to go to jail today or no? You know, like, do they know who they're talking to? Right. So our next speaker, she said, listen, her daughter asked her a question and it just like smacked her in her face and she didn't know how to react. So here to tell her story, Dionna Rojas with Rough Draft.
Please welcome to the stage, Dionna Rojas, sponsored by YWCA of Greater Pittsburgh.
Someone that set my heart free, real love. I am searching for real love. I'm searching for a real love. Someone that set my heart free.
Have you ever had your child ask you a question and you didn't know how to answer? My daughter asked me, was she my rough draft? Rough draft, like unfinished presentation. A rough draft, like something's thrown together with no revisions. Was she my rough draft? She was 12, I was 32, and I dreaded the day that my child would feel different from her younger brother that I had with my husband, her stepfather. We tried everything. We took her to doctor's appointments, we took her to the sonogram, but she still was able to sense the difference between who I was as a mother at 19 when I had her, than the rough draft version of a mother I was at 32. See, the first 5 years of her life were hard. It was a struggle. I was young, I was angry, I was selfish. I had plans. I had plans to go to college, get my degree, relocate. The DMV had my attention. I mean, how did I get caught? Why did this happen to me? Why me? Day after day, I tried to be a mother, the rough draft, the 19-year-old rough draft version. I was responsible, I was tough. I did what I could as a mother. But that wasn't enough, because my child felt the emotional lack that oozed on her every day, the shame and disappointment that I carried in me, onto her. I felt exposed. I mean, man, what am I going to do about this? See, I finally found someone who loved me, who loved and partnered with me, who desired to have a family with me, who loved my daughter as his own. I had grown and I had learned, but it did not repair or replace the wounds that I had created in her. My daughter had to witness me reading to her brother from birth, something she never got a chance to experience with me. She had to witness me tend to his needs almost immediately, something that I never thought to do when I was parenting her. 19 and pregnant was not part of my plan. But at 32, I had understood I needed to accept and walk into the responsibility of motherhood. I hated when I was a child when adults didn't validate my feelings. So what was I to do but to validate my daughter's feelings in that moment? So I took some breaths. I took a lot of breaths. And I decided to validate for her that, yes, she was my rough draft. She was my rough draft. I felt like a failure. In that moment, I felt that God had spoke to me and told me and encouraged me with the thought that every firstborn is a rough draft. And in some lame, crazy way, I decided to share that with my child, thinking it was a justification for my lack, for my inability to address her needs when she was younger. What I could have said in that moment, what I should have said to her in that moment, was that simply, I'm sorry. And mommy will do better. I will be a better mother. But instead, I told her, every firstborn is a rough draft, as if it was supposed to erase the pain. Now we're here in our kitchen, in our small little apartment, and I'm looking in my daughter's eyes, and she's waiting for a response. I had nothing but to confirm what she felt. But you know what? Her question, though it humiliated me because I felt exposed, it humbled me. It made me into who I am today. Her one question took me on a journey where I was able to become a better mother for her today as a young woman, so I could be a better mother to my grandson and be a better mother to her siblings. So I want to say thank you to her. I want to tell her thank you for just being there with me, going on this motherhood ride with me, for not letting go of hope, for staying in there when she asked questions that I did not answer, when she was speaking and I wasn't responding, for every time that she was disappointed at an activity that was canceled. If she asked me today, was she my rough draft? I would simply say, Ashley, no, I was yours.
You're my lady. You're my lady. Yeah. You're my